See, your brain has a sleep switch, but most people shut theirs off years ago without even realizing it. That's why even though you sleep 8 hours, you wake up eyes burning, brain fog, and still feel exhausted. But when you turn your sleep switch back on, you can sleep 5 hours and still feel amazing, which is what this video is all about. See, I'm going to share the science behind how sleep less and still wake up feeling fresh, sharp, and fully recharged by turning your brain's sleep switch back on. But first, you need to know what this sleep switch actually is in the first place, and the few of the innocent habits that turn your sleep switch off without you knowing it. See, most people think they have a sleep problem, so they try to fix it with melatonin or other sleep supplements. But your sleep isn't what's broken. Your sleep switch is. Your sleep switch is basically your internal clock, or what's called your circadian rhythm. It decides when you feel sleepy, when you wake up, and how deeply you recover every night. And the secret is, when is the switch working? Your body naturally releases sleep hormones like melatonin, so you get tired and can easily go to sleep when it's dark. But it also releases the proper hormones in the morning, so when you wake up close to sunrise without any hassle. As long as your sleep switch is working, even if you sleep less than 8 hours, you still wake up feeling refreshed. But the big problem is that modern life and a few innocent habits most people have that basically destroy your sleep switches. And when that happens, the release of those sleep hormones that are supposed to make you tired, they get delayed, so you don't feel tired at night. And a stress hormone called cortisol builds up, so even if you do fall asleep, you're tossing and turning all night and you feel exhausted, even if you're in bed sleeping 10 hours or more. So here's how to avoid this from happening. The first modern life habit to avoid that shuts off your sleep switch is likely one of the most simple ones to fix: late night eating. When you eat, your gut increases activity, your pancreas releases insulin, and your body raises the core temperature to process and distribute nutrients. Those changes make perfect sense in the afternoon when your brain is still trying to stay awake. But at night, your brain wants the opposite. It wants to lower core temperature, it wants to less digestion, and it wants to allocate resources to repair, immune regulation, and brain cleanup. So set a hard cutoff for heavy meals 3 hours before bed. If you want to go to bed at 11, finish dinner by 8. Because otherwise, when you eat late, you send your internal clocks one message with your bedtime and a conflicting message with your meal. So your brain cannot run a clean night program because you're giving it food like it's still daytime. And this is why you often fall asleep but wake up in the middle of the night. It's because the body is digesting the food you gave it before bed. See, the second innocent habit to avoid is one of the most common habits I see people have, and it's absolutely destroying your sleep. I'm talking about caffeine after 2 p.m. And listen, you've probably heard this advice before, but you probably haven't heard why this is so important. See, caffeine doesn't give you energy like most people think. Instead, it works by blocking your brain's tiredness signal and shifting your sleep window. So you feel sleepy later than you should, and you fall asleep later than you planned, and you wake up feeling like your sleep never finished. Even if you swear you metabolize caffeine fine, you drink caffeine after 2 p.m., you can delay your natural sleepiness by hours. So treat caffeine like an 8 to 10 hour drug, because that is how your brain treats it. Stop caffeine after 2 p.m. or if you're sensitive to caffeine, move that cutoff even earlier. Also, try to stop drinking as much caffeine, because the largest doses creates long tails that leak into your night. Now, habit number 3. And this one is sneaky. And for most people, it's difficult to completely eliminate, but I'll share some tips for how to do that a bit. And I'm talking about stress. Now, during the day, stress can actually be a good thing because it raises cortisol and tells your brain to stay focused and watchful. But at night, if your nervous system is still locked in day mode, you're not going to be able to sleep. And this is why you can feel tired but wired. Your body is exhausted, but your brain is still acting like something needs your attention. You can remove every single stressful thing from your life, but the easiest fix here is to create a work-off ramp or a night routine. Don't try to win the day at 9 p.m. Stop any high-stakes work and avoid emotionally activating conversations in the evening because they lock your brain into alert mode. And replace both of those with a decompression routine that tells your nervous system the day is over. You can take a slow walk for 10 minutes, do breath work for 5 minutes, write down the task and thoughts for the day so your brain stops trying to hold them in working memory. See, a lot of people have morning routines, but not many people have a night routine. And it doesn't need to be perfect, but you need to consistently signal to yourself over a period of few days that nighttime means relaxation and sleep. But here's the thing, even if you fix the meals, the caffeine and stress, you can still destroy your sleep switch with one thing almost 90 95% of my patients have told me they do. And this is the absolute worst thing you can do for your sleep. Let me explain. Melatonin. Most people have heard of it. It's a sleep hormone that naturally is produced and released in your body at night. It's basically what makes you feel tired. It helps your brain enter into deep sleep modes, and it helps you stay asleep throughout the night. But when melatonin is too low, or if the body releases at the wrong times, you won't feel tired. You'll roll around all night and you'll wake up feeling tired, like you barely slept at all. And there's one common signal or bad habit that makes that happen more than anything else. And something most people do every single night without even thinking about it. And it's ruining their body's natural melatonin production schedule. And that's viewing artificial light after sunset. Your eyes do not exist only to see. They exist to set your biological clock or your sleep switch. And when bright blue light from your phone, TV, or computer hits your eyes at night, your brain thinks it's daylight. So immediately suppresses melatonin. And that's a problem because it changes your body's entire natural circadian rhythm, meaning you start getting tired later, waking up throughout the night because your melatonin production schedule is off and you wake up feeling tired. So if you want your natural sleep system to activate again, you must fix your circadian rhythm or your sleep switch. And I'm going to share the scientifically proven ways to do that. First, do what's called anchoring. So in the morning, within 30 minutes of waking, go outside and expose your eyes to real daylight. Don't wear sunglasses and don't stand behind a window. Do this even on cloudy days because outdoor light delivers a strong circadian signals through your eyes. 5 to 10 minutes is enough for most people, and longer exposure only strengthens the effect. This morning light sets a timer in your brain that determines when melatonin will rise later that night. If you can't get the natural light in the morning because it's winter or your hours are messed up, just do your best. An alternative is to buy what is called a full spectrum sun lamp, which is a light that mimics natural sunlight. And next up is shut light down in the evening. So about 90 minutes before bed, dim your environment. Turn off bright overhead lights, switch to warm amber toned lamps. And after that, the most important thing is avoid screens. Turn off your phone. Stop watching TV at least 1 to 2 hours before bed. And that allows melatonin to rise naturally and let your first sleep cycles deepen. And finally, protect the bedroom. Make it truly dark. Remove or cover small LED lights. Use blackout curtains if needed. Wear a sleep mask and keep the room cool because a lower temperature supports the nighttime drop in core body temperature that deep sleep requires. And these will help you dramatically. But even the perfect light routine will not fully turn your brain's sleep switch on if your routine keeps fighting your biology. What I mean is there's a part of your brain called the Suprachiasmatic Nucleus, or the SEN. This small cluster of neurons acts as the master clock for your entire body, and it controls when melatonin rises at night and when cortisol rises in the morning. It tells your body temperature to drop in the evening, which allows for deeper sleep. It slows your heart rate, quiets the brain, and moves you into deep sleep without effort. But this system, it isn't something you can reset overnight because it looks at patterns over time. So that means you cannot fix your sleep a single perfect night or a short-term reset, because if your signals change day to day, the brain never gets a chance to get into a rhythm. So if you want perfect sleep every single night, you have to train the system. And most people, they never do this, and which is why their sleep improves for a few nights and then messes up again. And the thing is, you can only train your SEN by fixing your daily habits. And once your daily habits align with your biology, you get deep, restorative sleep every single night. And here's exactly how to do that. So beyond light, meals, caffeine, and stress, the SEN also responds to timing. If you go to sleep up at different times during the weekend that you do during the week, the SEN never really fully commits to a stable rhythm. So choose a fixed sleep and wake up time. Even after a poor nights of sleep and on the weekends, stick to it. You gotta be the same. Also, eat your first meal at the same time every morning so your brain clearly understands when the day begins. The SEN sense of daytime improves the sleep timing later in the day. So during the day, get outside again around midday, not just in the morning. This creates a strong contrast between bright daytime and dark nighttime, which help the SEN separate work hours from recovery hours. And finally, protect the bedroom as a sleep-only space. Do not work, scroll, or think through problems in bed. And your brain will subconsciously learn that your bedroom is a place for sleep. So after a while, even just entering your room will become a cue to start winding down and getting tired, so you can drift off peacefully into sleep. Now, this process will help you get deep sleep so you can feel and perform better, but to achieve true sustainable peak performance, the exact protocol is different for everyone because everyone has different underlying issues like hormonal imbalances or nutrition deficiencies, and these are impossible to detect without advanced testing. And this is why I offer for a personal one-on-one help where I literally fly out to you, run comprehensive tests, and create your own custom health optimization protocol. But this is only for people serious about high performance like founders, CEOs, and entrepreneurs, right? To qualify, you just need to submit a short application and we'll hop on a call to see if I can help. So if you're ready to start optimizing your biology for sustained peak performance, click the link below now to apply.